Alright, today I'm going to show you how to transfer your picture from the picture that we printed to the paper where you're going to then transfer it again onto good paper in order to draw it. So I have my picture here that I have of me and my daughter. I'm going to show you each of these little squares relates back to one of these squares. So the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to label them. So this one, we're going to do it like a bingo board. So we're going to do A, B, C, and D, and then down will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to do the same thing on here so they match up. So A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if I look at picture A, or square A, I'm not going to be really worrying too much about the stuff that's in the background. All I'm really worried about are my main focus. So I'm going to block out everything that's not in that square. I'm going to block out everything that's not in this square so I don't get confused. I'm just going to draw what I see. So in this one, I see just a little chunk of Livy's hair. So I'm going to take that shape and I'm going to transfer it over here. So if I look here, I could see it starts about a third of the way up and it goes all the way to the point where it meets. I'm going to go about a third of the way, all the way to where it meets. And it's just a little arch. I'm not even worrying about the individual hairs, I'm just getting the basic shape. And then I'm going to move over and I'm going to do B, which starts getting into the complicated stuff like my glasses. So I'm going to find the basic shape here. And if you have to, like I'm doing, you can just outline it right on your picture. It doesn't matter, we can print out more if you need it. So that's about halfway is my face. So about halfway through here. Got a little curve there. And I've got this weird V here where my hairline starts. So I'm going to draw that. And I can just start with my glasses. So I'm drawing everything that I see in this particular square. I'm not really worried too much about what they actually are. I'm more worried with having them in the correct placement within my square, my frame. I have a bunch of little flyaways in here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that basic shape. I can see a couple of them are bigger. My crazy hair. Here's a little bit more. Alright, and then I'm going to move over to the next one. I want to continue going all the way down. So this is an important tip. When you go to start the next square, even though you're looking at each square individually, you also want to look at how it's connecting back to the previous square. So it wouldn't make any sense for me to start my glasses like up here because I know that they ended right here. So pay attention to where the previous square ended. And like I did before, I'm going to come in here, I'm going to outline everything just so it's a little bit easier for me to see. You can do this before you start drawing too if you need to. And my crazy eye. What's really neat about copying a printed picture is that it's kind of pixelated, so it breaks up the shadows for you. I forgot this little shadow in here, so I'm going to go in and add that really quick. Nothing ever says you can't go back and fix a mistake or something that you forgot. Okay, so I'm going to go back to work on this one. Make sure I match them up. And match up the bottom. Glasses are the hardest thing to draw as far as accessories, but if you use the grid, It should be relatively easy to get the right proportions and get the right angles. Okay, I'm going to get in there with my eyes. This line kind of continues down, the shadow. See, this matches almost up there, so I can make sure that that shadow matches right here. Of course, you're going to be doing this in pencil, and you're going to be drawing lightly, so if you make a mistake, you can erase it super easily. I drew in pen so that you could see what I was doing, the marks I was making. I made my eye a little bit too short, so if I had pencil, if I were using pencil, I could go in and I could fix it. I am not using pencil, so it would be slightly harder for me to do so. And I'm going to move on to the next square. Just going to get the rest of my glasses. You can see that it's not quite even, so if I drew a straight line from here all the way over, my glasses are sitting below that. So if I drew a straight line here, I know that my glasses sit below that. So don't be afraid to, one, draw on your grid if you need to, because you're using pencil, so you can always erase, but also use things as points of reference. I'm going to get my glasses in here. They go all the way to the edge of the paper. There we go. And when you get more and more squares, you'll be able to tell more and more if you've made a mistake or if there's something you need to fix. My eye. Take that away. You can see a little bit of my eyebrow. Oh, you can see a little bit of my eyebrow in here too. I forgot to add it. I'm not so much worried about making it look like an eyebrow so much as just the eyebrow shaped, and my eyebrow shape specifically. And then this one over here I'm going to add. So one of the hard things about glasses is that they make the part inside of the glasses kind of offset. So you see here, this is like my hair starting to shine through, but over here you can see the actual edge of my face. So if things look a little silly inside of glasses, if you have them, that's okay. That's how they're supposed to look. And you can see, just looking, comparing back and forth, once you get a row finished, you can look at it and say, oh yeah, this looks good, or oh, I need to go back in and fix that, and do it right away so you don't forget. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I'm going to finish up this grid so you can see what it looks like at the end. Alright, so I have my grid drawing basically done. It looks really silly because it doesn't have any of the shadows that kind of give my face form and give Livy's face form. I might notice that some areas are a little off. So here her chin goes in more at an angle, and here I have it more round. So I can go in and fix that to make her look a little bit less chubby. I'm going to just draw that a little darker so it's easier to see that that's the one that I wanted. Now some areas are really hard to see what's going on inside of my picture. So like in here in my shirt, I really have no clue what's happening in there. So don't be afraid to pull up your actual picture off of your phone and zoom in so you can see what's happening. And I see I'm wearing my Gryffindor shirt, but I'm not going to worry so much about that. I'm going to worry about the shadows, the folds that are created in my shirt by me bending over. I'm going to go ahead and draw those guys in really roughly. It doesn't have to be perfect. I can see my hair kind of comes down over top of my shirt, which I could not see at all in my picture. I also see that that is my hand. I was really curious about what this was. My hand holding a jug of juice. I'm going to make that more obvious. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. So now, when you get done, what you're going to do is you're going to put a piece of good paper on top of it, tape it on the edges, and then go either to the light box or to the window and trace lightly with pencil your drawing that's shining through underneath up through onto the good paper. So use a pencil, draw lightly. You can use my light box, or you can go to Miss H's room and use her light box, as long as you're being good. And when you're finished with that, you'll have basically the same drawing, except it won't have these pesky grids on there. It'll look just like you drew it straight on that paper.